good thing about moving at night time is that at least it's going to keep you warm. And on the whole, the pros of moving at night outweigh the cons, I reckon. You know, yes, there are going to be more snakes, especially in this sort of Hamada area, but at least you don't get that scorching heat of the day.
Walk with a heavy footfall, so the vibrations let any snakes know that you're around. Hopefully they'll get out of your way.
The best way of navigating at night in the desert is just to use the stars. And in the Northern Hemisphere, the most reliable one to use is the North Star. But the way to find the North Star is to use the Big Dipper or the plough. And what you do, you take the start of it, follow the handle round, down to the bottom, and then you take the last two, and the distance between the last two, you multiply it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Points directly at the North Star. There's a running race that goes through the Sahara called the Marathon des Sables. It's one of the toughest foot races on earth. And there's the story of one guy who got lost in a sandstorm, and he was out on his own for 9 days, and he stayed alive by drinking bat's blood. But eventually, in desperation, he tried to end his life by slitting his wrists. But he was so dehydrated, his blood was so congealed, it wouldn't even run out of him. And he was eventually rescued by desert nomads, and it was them that saved his life.
Night temperatures drop to freezing, so if you need shelter and warmth, do something about it before it's too cold or too dark.
What you can use is just what nature's provided. All of these rocks, and all of these have been baked boiling hot by the sun during the day. They're really good insulators, and they're going to hold their heat well. So you just need to look for a good area to build a bit of a rock wall around you. Try and move some of these.
Ideally, you should do this in daylight, so you can see any scorpions which love this type of terrain.
And just as an emergency form of shelter, you know, the Bourbons will use this as well. Just a way of keeping them warm through the night if they're caught out.
The black rocks of the Hamada get hotter than the sand during the day, and they retain their heat. Nature's own radiator, and perfect if you need to rest.
Okay, well, it's pretty basic, but it should do. And if I wiggle my way into this, carefully without dislodging everything, I can actually already feel the warmth off that, and I'm sheltered from the wind behind me. If I nuzzle down into that, there's heat radiating off all of these rocks, and it probably wouldn't be the best night you'd ever spend, but it could well save your life if you're caught out on this Hamada. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking. We'll leave that, you never know, somebody one day might use it.
Keep your wits about you, and you can cover more ground at night than in day, possibly around 20 miles. But there's more trouble to come. Some of the desert's most poisonous plants.
These are deadly.